Well, first of all, it's nice to meet you finally.
Same here. It's very lucky. This is a site visit, actually.
Oh, great. And I'm happy that I was down here while you were
Absolutely.
down here.
So
That's
tell us what's going on.
Sure. So this is our, third, fourth year we're doing this garden. Yes. And because I took over for Rebecca Martin.
Yeah.
And so this is about a half-acre plot. And so we're growing market vegetable style food on this area. And we've been really successful. Every year we're growing more and more. So this is the first year we're using the whole bit.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we actually asked for another half-acre, which is down over there. I don't know if you can see the greenhouse, that large greenhouse.
Yeah, of course.
But that's roughly another half-acre. And there we're gonna be growing, installing an orchard and a large berry fence, so like raspberries and tayberries. And then maybe hopefully make it more of a center, so when community services programs or people or volunteers want to come together, we have maybe a little gazebo, maybe a little kind of center place to hang out. But this year,
how's the food been?
Yeah, it's been a really great year. It's been a really hot year, and then it's been a very droughty year. But luckily, we have a large water storage pond over there. You can kind of see a bank, and it's about 40 feet deep. And so we had a great supply of water this year. So there was no concern about lack of water. So
rainwater?
Still conservative with
rainwater?
Rainwater, yeah.
Okay, great.
And I believe so. And maybe there's like it's fed a bit too, but I think it's mostly rain. But it's been really great, and we do drip irrigation, so that kind of conserves the water a bit more. I've been running this program now for the last 3 years, and I have a summer student that's a federal funded program. And so I get a summer student for the year. He's just finished his internship. So that's been great help. I mostly focus on lower maintenance, but growing food at the moment, just because of the location. But it's really great because it usually interprets to roots, vegetables, squashes. You see, I do a lot of pumpkin squashes and delicatas. I've been doing... and it's great winter storage food, so that's when people are kind of struggling a little bit more food, so we can really store a lot of garlic, leek, onions, potatoes for the winter. I do grow a lot of basil, and that's been a really successful crop for a leafy green, because we've been making a lot of pesto with the other kitchen programs. So we've been storing and freezing a lot of pesto for the winter, so people can add it to their pastas. A lot of carrots, a lot of beets.
Great.
So it's been fun. So this year I try to do a little more internship. I wanted to try to create more jobs within the other programs at community services. And one of the things, we got one guy doing, working at one of the therapeutic gardens, another one helping with the landscaping. And this year I was trying to do a thing with cut flowers. And this one girl, she's great. She just doesn't get hired because she doesn't have an experience, because she just needs a little bit more patience and time to start a job up. So we wanted to do bouquet making. And so I was growing a lot of cut flowers and hoping to start a program like that here.
And the food goes to which programs at social services?
Good. Yeah, right. So we do several programs. So I harvest for the food bank. I harvest for the family place, which is for families with children 6 and under, and that's what I'm doing today. So I roughly pick 4 or 5 bins, and they can help themselves. We harvest for the Corin, which is a youth center, and they do lunches every Fridays. And I also harvest for the Yellow Submarine program, which is a mental health program that does daily breakfasts and lunch, and they also help out doing a lot of the cooking and storage. We freeze a lot with that group and try to create more jobs with that group.
What about the soup kitchen or the lunches? Is that something they use?
So those are incorporated with those programs.
Into those programs.
Yeah.
Great.
And then the shelter, and the shelter program, which is a big one, when that runs February to the end of November to the end of February.
What is the shelter program?
The shelter program is a supper, a dinner that's made every night for whoever needs it. And it's usually a lot of homeless, low income, people who are just struggling, people who just don't have a food, don't have a kitchen, and there's a daily dinner made every night for whoever needs it. So it's usually,
they come to the social services center.
And it's at community services. So that's roughly between 15 and 30 people a night. So we try to provide those winter storage foods so they can get good garlic and onions and leeks, potatoes.
Right, they can make a lot of good soups, I imagine.
Yeah, and it saves that program a lot of money, because the funding for that program, you only get funding for that program when the weather goes below 0. But here, being on the western side of Canada,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't get freezing that much. We actually don't get that much money. So whatever money we can help save that program to go to the shelter, clothing, and giving
Mm-hmm.
beds and all that, then we can save in food that you can get in other supplies.
Wow. Sounds so you're growing. You're growing in
We're growing
abundance of what you
yes.
make. It sounds like in a need.
Yeah, it was really caught on fire this year. Getting more volunteers, more people's awareness. We renamed our program to People's Roots,
Oh, what
and we have a
beautiful
tagline:
thing.
"Growing food to include," just to kind of give it more identity and and so people understand it's just not a community garden. It's actually we're trying to create a program where everybody's included.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I
I hope
really
that makes
learned
sense.
a lot. Yes, it makes great sense.